Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, JD Unplugged. I'm your host, the Darren G.
And I am the Jovan, still in the year 2001. As you can see behind me, I made some friends in California. Took a little
Mm-hmm.
ferry out from wherever the heck I was, South
Seeing it.
Korea. Now here I am. So yeah, I mean, I'm loving the fashion.
Yeah,
The weird thing is that it doesn't even feel retro because people are wearing this kind of stuff nowadays. So it's funny how fashion is
true.
cyclical in that sense. Yeah, but
Very, very true.
I'm just chill. Global warming's less of an issue. Trump has yet to happen. COVID has yet to happen. So a lot of good stuff happening in retrospect, right? I mean,
2000s
sure.
are the best. It's the best years.
Yeah, it had weird music, but it also had good music. Yeah, it had a little bit of everything.
I
It had the internet. Yeah.
I loved the 2000 music.
Well, no. So I'm saying there's a good section,
So bad.
but when you look at other like the top 40s of 2001, it's just weird stuff, man. Like it's all over the place. It's a lot of
Oh
dorky stuff.
yeah, I can imagine. That's like
Yeah.
2000s was like crazy. Like yeah, I mean like just behind you. Where first of all, where is Misha Barton? Oh, there she is.
Yeah. Do you see the whole gang
She's
there?
there.
Yeah,
She's behind your head. I was like, "Where's Misha
yeah.
Bart?" She's behind your head.
They're just chilling. Yeah, they find my tales of the future very amusing. That's why they're
Okay,
hanging out with
so
me.
nice. So essentially, I have to get another tooth ripped out
Oh my
on
gosh. Well,
Tuesday.
okay. So for the audience, listen,
Yeah, I
2001 was
just
a
have
fun
fucked up
time.
teeth.
2021 not so much. Yeah, and especially with Darren. So yeah, you can just fill them in because I don't think they know anything.
I just basically have screwed up wisdom teeth, and one of them is broken from. I had like I'm pretty sure it was a taco. Like I had a taco from Boston Pizza like a year ago, and it broke my fucking tooth.
Oh my God, what the
Yeah,
hell?
it was
That's messed up.
brutal. And then so yeah, it's been really, really upsetting me to the point where like I can't drink coffee or like eat. It's just so bad. And then my bottom one is like completely like screwing on my bottom row of teeth. So I just feel constant like I'll wake up and it feels like my teeth are shifted.
Right, it's like
Just
tectonic
like
plates, but just inside
slowly,
your
yeah.
skull. Yeah.
So what else? I just get them ripped out. I'm really scared for like Tuesday because I'm gonna be awake and I don't want to be
Mhm.
awake for that shit. But it's just
Well,
one
hey,
tooth.
I can tell you this. I've had my wisdom teeth taken out, and it wasn't when I was like a teenager, because I know a lot of teenagers get their wisdom teeth taken out because they're like, it's got to happen eventually. Like, there's only like 1% of humanity that can actually hold on to their wisdom teeth because their skulls just they don't fit them anymore. And
Yeah.
it didn't happen to me until I was like I think 25 or 6. And I was waiting for the whole process. They swabbed a little part of my gum and until it was numb, and then they injected the needle. That way, I didn't have to feel the needle. And then once they inject the needle, everything goes numb. But they don't do anything to your consciousness. They don't give you laughing gas or anything. So you're just like sitting there like, this is just me and my waking life's over. What's going on? And they just get pliers and just pull them out. But it's not actually traumatic because yeah, all you feel is just you feel your jaw moving a little, but there's literally no pain. So it's a very strange sensation. All I'll say is that it's not as uncomfortable as getting like a COVID-19 test.
Really?
Yeah, COVID-19 I think is more uncomfortable because you feel everything and they're jamming something past your navel cavity and it feels extremely invasive. It's
Yeah,
like getting a thumb up the bum.
but it's like my mouth is gonna be wide open like the whole time, and like their hands are gonna be in the back of my mouth. Like I feel like
But
that's just low.
it's all numb. It's all numb. It's like they inject like on all four sides, I think. And the numbness, like you don't feel your tongue, you don't feel your jaw, you don't feel anything. All you'll feel is above it, like in the bone area here, you can feel them when they're like pulling, and that's it. So you don't feel any pain. You don't feel any pain.
Okay,
There's
well,
no discomfort because you can't like normally it's
shit.
uncomfortable when people got their hands in your mouth because like the saliva's everywhere and you're just like you can feel it. That's the uncomfortable part. In this, there's no discomfort because you can't feel it. It's just weird psychologically. It just feels very weird because you're like, I know they're
Oh,
ripping
this
up my
is
teeth, but I can't feel it.
brutal. This is brutal. This is brutal.
I don't know. I
Anyways,
just think like, yeah,
I'm super
it'll be
happy
over
because
before
it's
you know it.
brutal. Like my freaking, I just can't like eat. I can't fucking like drink. It's brutal. Just like super cold. Everything has to be like room temperature.
Right. Yeah.
Because my teeth are just so sensitive. Even just like to talk, I kind of talk with like half my mouth kind of
Right.
air from like hitting the tooth. But
Mhm.
it's been a little better with the medication and the antibiotics. So we'll see
That's
how it works out.
yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I have another little dilemma that like I was up at 3 this morning thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on there? You got a
And
little vacuum cleaning happening at
they're vacuuming the stairs.
Buster's,
Yeah, I don't know.
right?
Well, which is actually not that bad because normally they do it in like the middle of the night, like at 9 p.m. But it's just like I'm telling you, I just can't catch a break. I just never can catch a break.
First the teeth, now it's the
I always say
vacuum.
that.
What the hell's going on? Well, hey, listen, Dave and Buster's got to be clean for
Oh,
when the lockdown shuts off, right? Got to get those carpets nice and fresh for the kitties to come. Yeah,
true. Everything's got to be sanitized up in here.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God,
Okay, so
it sounds like in a dentist room when they're like filing your teeth or something.
yeah, you're literally getting filed right now.
But anyway, so
Okay,
what's your location situation? I don't think
so
we mentioned that yet.
next, I'm still at Buster, Dave and Bus.
Yeah, this is
I'm
just where I
chilling.
live now. What
I
the
haven't,
hell?
I haven't left. I was thinking about going to Pizza Hut, but I was like, eh. My tooth, I just can't with the tooth. Like, I don't eat
Right. Yes.
cheese, and I'm just been chilling here, eating the cheese not bread.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yes.
eating bread.
Yeah.
So I have another dilemma for you.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I need you to be completely honest to it, like honest, because I feel like I'm kind of being, and I will admit if I'm being a brat or selfish or ungrateful,
Well, what is
please
this
let
gonna
me
be?
know.
What is this? Yeah.
It's a good. It'll be good. Okay,
Okay.
so essentially, my aunt
Mm,
sent me a gift for Christmas
mhm.
to my dad's house. So
Okay.
like one day I go to my dad's to like pick up mail or like whatever, and just even his gift. Like I go to pick up his Christmas gift and all that stuff that he gave me.
Yeah.
And my sister's like, "Oh, my aunt send us a gift." It's like she sent
Mm.
me one, sent my sister one. I didn't send my brother one because he lives in England. So like this is where I'm like, I wish I was my brother right now. I just wish I was my brother
Yeah.
because
Your PO box wasn't your pops.
I don't know why I feel this way, but like I don't know what it is. Like I think I'm like crazy or something. So I was up at 3 this morning, and by the way, this has happened like probably like a week ago. My dad texted me and
Okay.
he was like, okay, so I get the gift.
Yeah.
First of all, let me explain. I get the gift. It's it's like a sweater that I wouldn't wear, but
Oh, right. A
like,
classic. Classic. Yeah.
okay,
That's a
like
Christmas sweater.
okay, cool. And it's also a gift card, a $50 gift card to PetSmart. But my dog died a year ago,
Yeah. Well,
and
over a
the
year ago.
yeah over here, and the card, my name is spelled incorrectly on the card.
What the fuck? What? What are you about to? Why did you preface this story by saying maybe I'm being ungrateful? What the fuck you talk? That's awful. Be like, yo, fuck you, Aunt. Like, what the hell is this shit? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so
Be like, thanks for
okay,
the sweater. I guess that's the only thing that's sentimental. Then you give me something that's an insult, and you spell my name wrong. What the fuck is this? Oh my
right? So I'm
god.
like, okay, so I get the gift, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay, right? Like,
I
okay.
guess.
So then
Yeah,
my dad, like, it's now literally been like technically a month since Christmas.
yeah, yeah. Over.
And my dad texted me like a week ago, being like, "Oh, can you thank your aunt for the gift? Because she wants you to thank her for the gift." I'm like, "Well,
Bro.
tell her I said thank you."
Yeah.
He then goes, "She said, oh well." So
No, no, no. Instead of saying thank you, you should have told your dad. Tell her that my dog died.
I did tell her that. I did tell him that. I said, "Don't mention that." Well, I told him don't mention that. I said,
No, you should have mentioned that because what the hell? She's gonna keep giving you gifts like that. Like,
like, "No, yeah." Anyway, so I mentioned that to my dad. I said, even though she gave me a gift card to PetSmart for my dog that died a year ago, don't mention that because it sounds ungrateful. Because I'm just thinking she's just gonna accept the thank you as like Tell her I said thank you.
Right,
Great.
right. But then she still
Done.
slapped
It's
an oh
fine.
well.
Whatever,
Yeah.
done. He then goes, texts me like, she says, oh well. So I just put question mark, no response, nothing. So I'm like, all right, cool, I don't give a damn. He then
Right.
texts like again, like a few days ago,
Mm.
just being like, can you please thank your aunt for the gift? I'm like,
Oh
what?
my God.
What? What?
Yeah. No, 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 no.
So like,
Okay, so I guess I have a lot of aunts and uncles, so maybe it'd be easier for me to be like, I appreciate you trying, but this is not okay. Like, like what the hell? But I will say this, I've had a similar scenario. This is different because it was not an aunt, it was someone a little closer than that. But and I'm trying to think of what year it was. I think it was maybe could it have been the Christmas of 20? No, no, no. It was my birthday of 2019. So I stopped drinking December of 2018, right? So it's been 5 months. The word has been out there, right? Like I told my entire family, right? The ones that I see, obviously, right? One person I do not see is my dad, and he, for my birthday, gives me a $50 LCBO gift card. Yeah, I just thought that was so funny because I'm like, I kind of enjoy the fact that he doesn't know about my life because it's like he shouldn't get to if I'm deliberately trying not to talk to him or see him, right? So it's like the fact that he's like is so disconnected where he like doesn't know that I've stopped drinking. I don't know. I don't know why. I thought that was like a good thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Obviously, there's a different scenario because it's not like you're trying to hide what happened, right? You're not like, oh, thank you so much for the dog food. My dog's gonna love it. It's like, no. Yeah, that's weird. The fact that your dad came back with a second you got to thank her is kind of messed up.
like, leave me alone. That's why I don't talk to you and your family because you guys are psycho.
Yeah,
Like, don't I understand? Like, I don't know. I just see it in a way of like, wouldn't you rather just send the gift and not get a thank you and just be like, wow, he didn't even say thank you, and then just move on and not send me a gift?
right, exactly. Yeah,
That's what
sorry.
I would think as being the elder. Instead of
Well,
hassling me down to tell me to thank you. Like it
yeah,
sounds like who am I? Like 2 years old? It makes me sound like I'm ungrateful when it's like I didn't ask for the gift, but at the end of the day,
yeah, you're
you don't ask for gifts. People just give gifts, but
right.
it's a gift. So are you giving it to give, or are you giving it
Or
because you
giving
want
it
to
for the
thank you and
thanks.
all this shit?
Yeah.
Like it's bullshit to me. So I'm
Well,
like waking up this morning being
yeah.
super like condescending, being like, I'm just gonna go to the dollar store, get a card that says thank you, mail it to her, and inside it just says thank you in capitals, and then it has my name spelled correctly. Is that rude?
No, it's not because that's literally what she wants.
Like, there you go, thank you.
Yeah. Here's your
And have
fucking
that's
gift.
and then
Thank
that's how
you.
you spell my name, please. Because I
Yeah.
and then it's just that. Isn't that what you wanted? Thank you.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
And I just put the gift
that's a
card
cat
back in
dog
there
claws
too.
kind of
Damn.
response, but it's good. I mean, that's yeah.
Is it? Is it though, or is it rude and bitchy? As opposed to someone that would just say, "Thank you so much for the gift.
Well,
I
no,
hope you're
no,
safe
because
and well. Thank
literally
you."
don't be
No,
like, I
fuck you.
appreciate that you thought of me, but the sweater is never something that I would ever wear. It's not my type of fashion, and I have no animals at this moment, so this is very confusing. For next time, maybe just give me a gift card, but not to PetSmart.
But like,
I don't know.
that's
'Cause
where
then
you
you're being
sound
honest, and
ungrateful.
you're like, no, but you say I appreciate the thought that you put into it, but this isn't my type of fashion, and I have lost the life of my animal. So you sending me this does not make me feel good. But I appreciate that you put in the effort, but yeah, just next time, please, for the love of
It's such a
God.
hard. It's such a hard gamble because
Right. Well,
it's like
no,
a lot of people.
it's also something where it's like this is like the most common this is as common of a misconception as shaving makes your hair grow in thicker. First off, that's not true, right? Enough people know that at this point, right? Shaving doesn't make it come in thicker. It just takes the thin thread of the hair and makes it flat, which gives the illusion of it being thicker. But obviously, I've been shaving and I don't have a full beard. That's not how genetics work, right?
Yeah,
You're shaving at the skin anyway. Anyway, that's I no need to go down that rabbit hole.
I've
The other
had
common
this
misconception.
conversation with somebody before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so the other misconception, a very common one, is that age brings wisdom. And that clearly is not the case. Experience doesn't equal a growth of intelligence or knowledge or wisdom. you can have someone who's like 18 and can be like the next Buddha. You're like, what the hell? Like, why does that kid seem so wise and like so forth knowing of like human emotion and stuff? And that, it's just a kid who just so happens to be really intelligent, but like on an emotional level. And then you have 50-year-olds that can be like, where's my thank you? Like, give me a thank you, and like pestering someone for a thank you. It's the
It's
most
so bad.
petty thing. It's also weird because like a child wouldn't do that. That is something only an adult would do. No child would be asking someone to ask someone else for a thank you because that seems kind of extra. Kids wouldn't even have that idea to do. So in that element, I guess it's an adult thing to do, but it's so immature and petty. That's not something an adult should do, you know?
It's
Yeah.
just annoying to me. Yeah, I agree with
So
100%.
someone being older does not mean that they're more mature. Definitely, you can have the most immature adults, you know, and
Yeah.
hopefully the generation that's just under us, the Zoomer generation, because they're raised with the internet. I mean, we were kind of raised with it. It came around when we were like 7 or 8, but it seems like they got a better grasp on reality than most adults. Like when it comes to I don't know, like politics and social change and that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, and that's something we were talking about the last episode. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that because that makes me feel so much better.
yeah. Send the card that says thank you in all caps, and then your name spelled correctly, and that's it. And don't send anything else. Or just like an image of your dog. It just says like R.I.P. and then the year. No, because that's too
Yeah,
extra.
that's
That's
mean.
too
That's
extra.
extra.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm
extra.
just thinking, is that extra of me to even just to send just the card that just says thank you with my name? Thank you, Darren.
No, the
No,
fact that she asked twice, and the fact that
twice.
the gift is so wrong, like on 3 different levels. The first one, it's not the worst thing in the world. People send bad fashion to other people all the time, right? That's something like grandparents do. They send you bad sweaters. But then the one thing stings, and then the other one's just insulting. You don't know how to spell like your own nephew's name. What the hell's wrong
No,
with you?
yeah,
Yeah.
where it's like,
So yeah,
why?
send the card.
I don't
She
need the gift.
deserves a card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then leave me alone, please.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
that,
And you put that to the back. Yeah, just leave me alone.
that's all I'm asking.
uh,
So what have you been up to this week?
Well, what the hell? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait. Okay. So, not much, but I did want to, for a second, to talk about the silliness that's going on at the stock market. So I don't know if you've been following, but
Yes, I
it's weird how
have.
quickly the news changes, right? At the time of our recording, and this is the last day of January. Obviously, this will come out like on February 4th or 5th or something, but the the stock market has been ruled by the elite class, the rich, right? The people who get into finance specifically happen to be rich because that's what the school that they went to taught them, right? So it's an
Mhm.
obvious correlation there. But then when you get people who aren't technically finance savvy, who are maybe now learning about this stuff thanks to certain like apps or just on Reddit, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's where this started. They said,
Yeah,
let's take this
it was on a
random
Reddit.
company. Yeah,
It was
let's
on Reddit.
take GameStop and put all of our stocks into it. And the second people started doing that, like all the elite people started following because they're like, what? They know something we don't know. Why are the stocks rising there? Everyone buy, buy, buy. And so everyone started buying GameStop stocks, and it just like skyrocketed. And then it started happening to
Yeah.
AMC movie theater, a movie theater chain that's literally like going bankrupt and it's going to be gone soon, is now somehow a Fortune 500 company.
Huge.
It's so moronic. It's so like ironic. Like it's the opposite of reality. And I guess it just goes to show how stupid stock markets are because they have no grasp on what actual reality or good business is. They're just like what they're interested in, right? So the fact that the internet was able to troll so hard and so
It's
successfully in a way
literally
that
a
nobody even
troll,
thought they
but
could before.
in a good way. It's a troll in a good way, and
Yeah.
they were not happy about that though. They were pissed.
Yeah, yeah. But
They were
which is
like,
great, which
wow.
makes it even
It's like,
better.
why can't everyone just have a little bit of
But
pie,
then
man?
that's what you get. Because yeah, it's supposed to be for everyone.
Like, let everyone
So
have some pie. And then
yeah.
you have the one boy that sold it too. Like his mom sold the shares.
Oh, dang.
He got like 4 grand US.
Oh, like he bought or before it rose. Yeah, nice. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
He
I just
got
think
like
that's funny. I just think it's a good little
he's a
laugh at capitalism. But yeah, I don't like it's not like I'm going to be buying stocks in it, right? So my only interest
yeah.
in this is
It's
just to see what the outcome is. If people start doing it more, if this becomes like a trend in internet culture, is to start buying stocks in random small companies. But
Um,
I dig it. I
I
like it.
mean, if they're cashing out, why not, right?
Why not? It's good business, I guess. Yeah. It's a big
Yeah.
middle finger to the man, and also you get a little paycheck out of it. So yeah, it's not to love. Wait,
Us
so
little people need to get something too.
yeah, exactly. So Darren, you're as far as I know, you're not specifically in finance, but you are in business. Would you be interested in doing any stock related purchases, or no? Is that going a little too far?
I've always I've always been interested in it. But
Yeah.
again, it's the knowledge. I don't have the knowledge in it, so I don't know. And I remember one time I with my prior where I had worked prior, I spoke to the manager about it, and he was kind of into stocks, and he was telling me that he was like investing in like weed stocks and stuff like that because at the time, like marijuana was getting legal at the
Yeah.
time ish or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, like it should come back and all this stuff." And he was kind of giving me some like know-how of it, but I've always wanted to just like because they say that's how you make some good money. Like I'll get into it later on. I think I just have to meet somebody that knows how to do it that can kind of like teach me the ropes a bit.
Right, right. Because
Really
yeah,
get
I feel like it's dancing with like a ghost from the future. You're just predicting on what the outcome of certain companies will be.
yeah,
It's just strange. It's the strangest thing. And then the money you put in helps that company, but then you're allowed to take money out whenever you want. And if it's higher than what it originally was, then you just made a good paycheck. Yeah, super, super weird. I feel
yeah.
like that it I don't know how I'm having such a weird time pushing this out, but it's an interesting enough segue from that is last February, so like exactly a year ago now, I took a class on script supervising, right?
Okay.
Do you know what that term means? Or maybe the audience doesn't, I don't know. But
I feel like I somewhat do. Yeah.
the script supervisor is that person who's like always sitting beside the director, and they just got like a stopwatch and like this binder, and they're just constantly scribbling down on the script every time they're shooting. And
Yeah.
their basic role is to help the editor, because let's say there's five takes of the same thing, and the director says, cut, okay, that's the one, or cut, okay, let's move on. And then they whisper over to the script supervisor, I like the third take or something, or they go, oh, that's really good. And so the script supervisor makes those notes to help the editor, but also the script supervisor's role is to time everything, and it's to help the pacing. Like, you ever wonder, like, how is it that a show is able to make their story exactly 44 minutes or whatever, like back when it was on TV? Nowadays, that doesn't matter as much because it can be like an hour, 30 minutes, whatever. But back in
Yeah.
the day, they had a time slot. And the way that they reached their time goal with the story that they were given is the script supervisor would time everything. And when I
Okay.
took the script supervising class, because I was interested at the time, now not so much. I just want to, go back to the basics and just write. Um, the thing that they taught me is it's basically the same as the stock market. You have to predict how long something's going to be and write it out beforehand, and then on the day of time it and base it off of your prediction that you made before the shoot happened on that day.
Uh,
They do pre-homework, and then they also do post-homework because they have to digitize everything that they hand wrote and give it to the editor. So a lot of hours go into being a script supervisor. That's why I'm probably not going to be into it, because like I have a
it's a lot.
significant other that I love and want to spend time with her.
It's a
And being a
lot.
script
Yeah.
supervisor, it's like you never stop working because it's a 12-hour shoot, and you're also working hours before the shoot starts and then hours after. So
Yeah.
sounds like hell on earth. But the one thing that I took away from it is this idea of like, you just have to predict it. And they're like, there's many ways you can do it. You can read it to yourself as if you're the actor. And so you have like this 90-page script, and you just have to read. You have to time yourself, read all the dialogue as
Wow.
like the way that the actor would read it. You have to kind of guess like when they would take pauses or when they would accentuate certain lines. It's insane. And it's the
It's a
same thing as the
lot.
stock market. You have to predict how good a business is going to be, and then play stocks here and there and wherever, right? And then
And
you don't want to place it in. It's just so
that's the
weird.
part where that's the
You're
part I
just
think I would
guessing.
need the
It's all
knowledge
guessing.
in. I
Right.
just wouldn't know. Like, how do you know what to just start putting
I'm
stocks
thinking
into?
it's a
How do you know?
combination. It's intuition, and it's also Yeah,
Like you need that little bit
people
of
showing you
guidance.
graphs. They show you a graph. They're
Yeah,
like, see, in this season, in the January season, it goes down and then goes back up. So you gotta, buy low,
yeah,
sell high, as they say. Yeah.
yeah. Because like everybody has the somewhat an idea of it, but it's like when you go full deep into it, you could probably make some good money, or you could lose a lot of money. Like you know what I mean? If you don't know what you're
Yeah, yeah.
doing,
It can turn into
right?
gambling. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's kind of the hard part for me. I always like to know there's going to be a return.
Yeah, well, I think both of us. Neither of us have a gambling mind. We're not. We
Yeah,
can
I'm
be
not a
risky,
gambler.
but we're not risky when it comes to money. We're not like, oh, I'll just put all of my money on here and hope for the best. It's like I would never fucking do that. I will only put money where I know it'll come back,
Yeah.
or if it's on food or games or whatever, right? Because then I
Mm,
just doing it because I want the thing. But yeah, I'm just not a gambler, so it's like I'll take
yeah.
life risks, but I won't take financial risks. And the second you see me doing that, something's wrong. I've
Depends.
started drinking
Depends.
again or something.
It depends. You got to take risks everywhere, essentially, but it
Yeah,
depends. It
yeah. For
depends. And
business, for
within
business.
reason. Within reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything's within reason because you don't want to just be jumping off cliffs and then boom, hitting the floor dead on.
Yeah, hoping it's water without looking. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like, oh no, it's just rocks. Yeah.
Have you been eating anything like interesting in
Oh
quarantine?
well. So at my job, they do catering, and catering once upon a time used to be like an open buffet style, but now because of COVID, that's not the case. Everything's
Oh,
hand packaged or whatever, right? And they've churned out some pretty interesting stuff. It's like sometimes they'll get like a flank steak and like really fancy stuff. Yeah, like it's
I want
trying to
that.
think of one that surprised me. I guess like an entire turkey meal, like a Thanksgiving meal, just as a Friday meal. It wasn't like related to any holiday. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like eating like a king. Like, why the hell am I getting this?
Oh, that sounds
And that was
delicious.
yeah, that was just like the other week. So they'll just randomly
Oh, that
give me
sounds
stuff like
good.
that. But aside from all that, and here's the unfortunate part is because I know that you're a foodie and my girlfriend's a foodie and I love food, but I'm not a foodie. And I wish I was, but like I just don't have that whatever that inclination is, right? The same thing that like a dancer would have when they start to hear good music. They want to start like dancing to it. And it's like I love good music, but then I don't have that inclination to dance. Same thing goes with food. So my girlfriend and I have been using HelloFresh since
Okay.
like I don't even know, like December or maybe before then. I don't know, but just a long time, right? I'm not the one using it. That's why I don't remember. But we'll get like a lot of interesting stuff. Like we'll get like a shrimp linguine meal and stuff like that, and just yeah,
Okay.
anytime it's seafood related, I'm in love. And otherwise like we'll get um, sautéed whatever, like chicken on a thingamajig and I can't even tell you, but it's all the classic stuff. You get the beans, you get the sweet potatoes,
And you
season
guys
it
make
with
it
whatever the
every. You guys make it all the time. Every
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Well, no,
Okay.
so
So
it's
how much times does it come a week? Like how much?
you get to choose, but I think it's just between 3 days a week and 5 days a week, and so we do 3 days a week. So
Okay.
yeah, and then on the off days we'll just have like a salad or a pizza or whatever basic thing. Yeah, we try to stay away from
Okay.
takeout food though. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's
Okay.
it's
That's the thing.
there are
Yeah.
there are good spurts of
Dying.
time between
I just don't
having like
understand how
a
people do it. I don't know how people do it. Like I literally, I don't like. I love cooking so much, but I don't want to be cooking every day.
right, right.
You know
Well,
what
I
I mean?
guess
Like I just want to make a
yeah,
meal like once, like a week
yeah,
at most.
yeah. Well,
Ever.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on what you make, because you can make something that can last a week, right? You make some kind of weird
But then also too, like
pasta salad
I
or something.
like I've always been like the type of person where like I have this type of mentality, and I think this is why I've always been kind of like skinny. Is I'd rather just starve than eat something that I don't want. That sounds
Oh
so bad.
yeah,
It
yeah.
sounds so bad. It sounds so bad. It
It's
sounds
the
horrible.
best or nothing. It's a bougie mentality, but it's
I know. I don't want that, so I don't want to eat that.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Only if you
I
love it,
know.
let's
It's
eat it.
so bad. Oh my gosh.
No, no. It's what makes a great chef.
I just want to eat something like exactly. I want to eat like quality all the time. Like if I could, because now that I started eating like red meat again, I'd have a steak and potatoes like every day. That'd be dope.
Right? Yeah, yeah. No kidding.
But I don't want
Yeah,
to fucking make a steak and potato all that shit every day. Get the hell
yeah.
out of here. But then you can't go out and eat anymore, so it's like, oh, I have to order
The
food.
world is making us kind of choose. Yeah.
It's
You
just
can do
so
Uber Eats, but the price is insane. Like they They charge you a service fee, they charge you a delivery fee, they ask you to give a tip to the person, and then there's an additional fee for
If it's
something
like
else. I
if
forget what, like
it's
a
under
carbon
a certain
tax or some insane
if it's
shit.
under a certain amount, they charge you. Yeah, it's like, what are all those fees? I don't get it. It's so strange.
Yeah, and
It's kind
yeah, my girlfriend and I were looking at like getting Cinnabons or something because there's a deal where it's like get two for the price of one. But then if we were to get it from Uber Eats, it ends up becoming more expensive than if we had just bought both like full price. So we're like, it's not worth it. Like, what is the point of this deal on Uber Eats if it ends up becoming more than what buying
yeah,
two full price would be? It's
you
like, all
gotta
right,
really
never mind.
you gotta really pay attention to those things because if not, then they get you. That's where they get you.
Yeah, yeah, it's like microtransactions for little kids playing like mobile games. It's like, oh, a dollar here, a dollar there, but then you end up like $10,000 in debt because you don't, yeah, pay attention to the acclamation. Yeah,
So that's really interesting about the HelloFresh thing because
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind because I don't mind. Like normally, what I do is I basically do that myself. I guess so. I make a
Yeah,
menu
literally
for the
buy your own
week.
groceries.
I make the
Yeah.
menu for the week, and then I just have all the groceries. So like I have steak. Like right now, I have steak in the fridge, breaded chicken, uh,
Nice.
chicken sausages, and falafel. Like falafel, not falafel, like pitas. I want to make like pizzas, but I
Yeah,
also
no.
have tzatziki. It's kind of like I bought another pack because I was like, oh, I have tzatziki left over, so like I was gonna like make more, but essentially I was like, oh, you know what? Actually, I can make pizzas instead with them because it's not enough. Because there'll be so much left over. It's like there's so many freaking pizzas, and then there's not enough like dip left over. So I'm like, I gotta use the rest of these anyways. I don't know why I bought more.
It's,
Make
it's
pizzas.
it's the classic
So like I have a list.
conundrum of like hot dog buns versus hot dogs. There's like two different quantities on either. And it's
Yeah,
like, why did you guys do this? Because then, yeah, I run out of buns, so I got to buy a whole new pack of buns. But now I got all these extra buns, so I got to buy more hot dogs, and
exactly.
like, it
So I'm
never
just
equals out. It's like this
like,
conspiracy to always buy more.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna make some pizzas with it because I had looked for
yeah.
dough, but there wasn't any dough, so I'm not gonna make my own dough right now. I didn't have
Oh, true.
time for that. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, even cool. I can just use these leftover. Boom! I don't even need to go back out and get anything else.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. I've been doing for a while because I think before Aiden had came back, I literally would eat takeout every day, like every day, probably
Oh
like
my
once or
gosh,
twice.
no kidding. Yeah.
I would
Was so has he
just
like
eat whatever I want. Like,
he's your food
because he
muse?
doesn't really eat takeout. Yeah, he doesn't really eat takeout.
But
Like
wait,
I
but
don't know.
does he
It's
help
weird. Like I
contribute to cooking?
no, he does. Yeah, he does. He does.
Okay, because it's like, yeah, that'd be funny for someone
Like
to. Yeah.
he'll do all the dishes.
Oh, nice,
Well,
nice.
so
You
I
got
don't
a good
mind.
system.
I hate. Yeah, I hate doing dishes. Like I hate. I would, the reason why I won't cook is because I had to do the dishes after. And we have a
Yeah, no
dishwasher, so
kidding.
it's like, so that's
Yeah.
like I'm grateful for that. So it's like, oh, now I'm trying to eat more healthy and like have more like breakfast, lunch, dinner type of deal. But I'm just like, oh my gosh! Every time I start like thinking about it, I'm like, oh, it's around like 4 already. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
I see how like moms are now. Because like moms do a lot. Moms do a lot. Moms do a
Yeah.
lot. Moms
Well,
do a
yeah, it's
lot.
insane to think
Shout
about.
out,
It's a full-time job. Well, yeah,
like
shout
it's
out to all moms and all stay-at-home dads and all the individuals who are spending all day every day just like
yeah.
maintaining a house, just keeping it, above water. Like, yeah, there's so much
All
that
you
goes into
people
it.
supporting those little ones and just doing your thing, like
Yeah.
kudos to you because I
What the
couldn't
hell?
imagine
Yeah.
this with kids right now. Like I could not. Like I couldn't. It's just like oh my god. Even thinking about it, I'm getting a headache thinking about it. I'm like I can't. It's so much
It's
work to me.
Yeah, yeah. I figure like it's more of a prioritization on how you're
Like
gonna spend your day because it's like I got so many projects I got, right? Like we're doing this podcast. I'm writing a script. I'm writing a book while also having an editor go through my book and then rewriting based on her notes. So I'm like doing two of those things. I'm also working on this kids TV show, which is like that's the only thing that's giving me money, but that's the one thing that I don't want to do at this point. I just want to quit so I can focus on all these other projects I'm doing that I actually care about, right?
aw,
So it's
that's so
insane. Yeah,
fun.
I'm just waiting for if the script in any way makes me money, then I instantly quit and then just focus on continuing writing scripts. But
You
yeah,
can though.
it's
You can
I
make money
like
making your
all
script.
I'm thinking of in my head is like if if I had all these projects, but then I didn't have to have that actual time commitment of like going into work to do the kids show, right? Like, or just the 12-hour shoots or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I would have to just find a way to make the cooking work because like if I were to have a kid, right? If I were to throw in that caveat, right? It's like you got to feed this person, right? Like you can go get takeout food and like harm your body, but you're responsible for that child. You cannot give that child bad food. Like what the hell's wrong with you? So you would have to focus on the cooking. And
True.
I like even with that in mind, I feel like I would still need help. Like it would have to be my girlfriend and I, where it's like I do the cleaning and she does the cooking kind of thing, or vice versa. Even though I'm terrible at cooking, so I shouldn't be in charge of that. But
Just saying that.
yeah, I
No.
honestly feel like I wouldn't be able to do it as one person. It would have to be a two-person job. So I
And
can
that's the
only, yeah,
thing
it's
where it's
like,
like I don't understand like how they like can do. Why isn't there like like a discount or anything? I don't know. Like, give me a discount on Uber
right.
Eats
Yeah, yeah.
or
If you're cooking for a
something.
family, there should be a discount on all food. Some kind of grocery
But
discount.
it's
Like,
like they have like things. It's all a money making scheme though. Everything is just money making because they have the thing where it's like don't pay service fees, but pay like a certain amount a month. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it to me, it's kind of insane how like female specific products cost as much as they do. Like I understand how like the shampoo
I don't
differences where
know
it's
how.
like they give guy industrial shampoo and then they give girls like fancy shampoo and that's why the shampoo's more expensive. And then same with clothes. I guess the clothes are like more intricate than guys' clothes or whatever. But when it comes to specific things like female hygiene, like tampons and that kind of stuff and pads, that should just be a human right. Or at the very least, it should be like toilet paper, where it's like on the cheaper end, right? Depending on which product you want to buy. But it's just it's weird that there's a price tag on that when it's
Yeah,
like,
it needs to be cheap. I would be. I would be freaking pissed. I was saying to Aiden like a couple days ago because a
yeah,
commercial came on the TV. It
yeah,
was I think it was like Poise or something. It's like an underwear that has like a pad into it, and I was
oh,
like, really all that? Like really all that? And she's like nobody sees like the line. And I'm like, that all that like that's expensive. And then I was saying to him like if I was a girl, like I can't be using those big ass pads. Like there's no way I'm using fucking pads this big, like freaking the
the
size of
diapers,
my
basically.
mattress.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like thick as my desk. So I need ones that are like so thin, they're like freaking post-it notes, like that thin paper, and then
right.
they're so absorbent that like as soon as you drop it in, like
It's
as
just
soon as you
sucked up.
drop it in a
Yeah,
tub, as soon as you drop it in a tub of water, just
yeah,
that's how absorbent I need it to be. But I would change it as soon as one drip hit.
yeah.
Why? Ow!
Everyone's
Ow!
got their own
I
preference.
don't
You
know
got
why
a
we
little
had. I don't know
hygiene.
why we. I don't know why we had this conversation, and I was like, the ones that I would be picking too wouldn't be the cheap ones. So it's like,
Right,
that's
right. You
not
can go
fair.
for the
It's not
best.
fair that because you want a thin one, and you don't want
Yeah,
people to see your fucking you wearing a mattress, you have
yeah.
to pay so much more. Like the prices are insane. I'm
Well,
like, just because it's
yeah.
like super thin, like what? That's not
But
fair.
that brings up like another tangent. Why are girls' pants basically just their asses? Why are they all tight? It's like obvious,
They're not all like that.
well, if you can see the girl's lining, then it means you can see it, right? Like imagine a guy's jeans
In the
being like the same as a girl's jeans and stuff,
there's some
It's like
guys jeans like that.
nowadays, obviously, yeah, fashion's changing, but like just the idea that girls can't put on pads because everyone will see it is, I think, a problem. You should be able to wear pants that don't allow that to happen, and that also don't make you look like you're
It
crazy
depends.
like trucker.
But you can't. But it depends though on like a person's personal style, right? Like some people, for
Well, I
instance,
think it's also cultural. It's like all females' pants are super tight. It's like part of so it's just part of society. And then it's weird if you buy the ones that are a bit baggier.
okay, it's fair enough. But like, say for
Every
instance,
girl.
she was wearing a dress or something. You're not gonna see anything, but she shouldn't have to wear a giant fucking diaper.
Sure, sure.
Do you know what I mean? That's the thing where it's like, why? It's like it's like obviously with toilet paper, there's like cheap toilet paper, and then there's expensive toilet paper. But like
Yeah,
the expensive toilet paper isn't that much more expensive than the cheaper toilet paper. But
yeah.
like the difference of like a fucking giant pad compared to a thin pad is like, and then in the thin pad you get less.
Right. That's
Like,
the same as like fresh food. You know how like the fresh food market is more expensive, even though you're like getting simpler foods or whatever compared to like, or no. What's a better way of saying it? If you were to buy like a bag of Doritos or something, it's
yeah,
got tons of shit in it, right? You look at the ingredients and it's like it's like a novel. And then if you were to buy like simple, pure, natural kettle cooked potato chips, and it's like three times the price, but it has like four
I,
ingredients and there's like a quarter of the bag actually has chips in it. And you're like, why the fuck is this so much more expensive if it's healthier for me and it has less ingredients? Shouldn't it be cheaper because it has less ingredients? It costs way less to make this.
can
Why is it
explain.
upscaled?
That's
And
this is a better example.
but it's the
But
same
it's
as with the less of a pad costs more because more people want it. But it's like it's just insane. Yeah, it's so
that's
weird. I
what
don't get it. It
it's
literally
like. It's
costs
like
them less to make.
it's like a scheme almost. It's like
Oh, yeah,
they're
obviously.
women wear tight clothes. That's what women
Shitty
wear.
stuff.
Like even in the commercial that I was watching that had the poise in it, where she was actually wearing like they were like underwear almost. She
Right.
was like jogging, so she's wearing like running. She's wearing like jogging pants, right? So you wouldn't want to
Right.
see a giant pad in her running pants or whatever. So that's
Right.
understandable. But it's like
Yeah.
the price of those are going to be a little more expensive because now she's full on wearing like a diaper that it's weaved into the diaper, so she now can put this diaper on, and now she puts this diaper on and no one can see. So basically you
Right.
just
The underwear.
spend more money to get the
Yeah.
underwear as opposed to just wearing a regular pad. And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
that looks expensive, but I would
But
have
then,
to
yeah, are
like,
you allowed to wash that and continue to use it, or do you have to throw it out when you're done?
oh, you don't do that, they just throw that out after,
Yeah.
just like a
No.
pad. As soon as
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying
so
by
ridiculous.
had a pad, I literally would just change that thing every minute. I would literally be broke on pads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I like toilet paper. I'm so stocked up on toilet paper. I just got the tushy to wash my ass. So like, I just
Yeah,
have
that's right.
stock. I don't fool around with that type of stuff. Like I'm just like I like toilet paper. I have it in the house. If I need it, I don't want to be having to run to the store and just grab pads. Like no, I'm not trying to run to the store and just grab toilet paper. I'm trying to run to the store and get whatever I need, all that stuff, and then okay, get toilet paper. Oh, it's on sale. Great. Now add it to my other stack of 6 toilet papers.
Yeah, right,
It's
exactly.
just
Yeah.
so much better way doing stuff like that, because then it's like it's not. I do that with water bottles too. It's not a necessity. I always recycle them though. Always recycle them, but
Good. Yeah.
not a necessity for me. Like if it's on sale, I'm like, oh, I'll just grab it. Great,
Yeah. Oh,
grab it.
actually, hey, super side note, but do you want to know a fun fact about how they recycle plastic? This is
Hmm.
something I did not know until I was like writing a poem like less than a year ago or something.
No,
And I was like, how can I rhyme this with this? Or I was trying to come up with this idea of like, what do they do with plastic? Because I was trying to think of like, I don't know, it was like a whatever, right? I'm not a poet or anything, but for whatever reason, I just needed to do research for this one that I was doing, right? This one that I had in my head.
okay.
And so I look into how plastic gets melted down, and they melt it into this big boiling pot, and then the boiling pot drips it and makes pellets out of it.
Oh, okay.
And then
Actually,
they
I did see this
separate the
actually.
pellets based on the type of plastic. So you got black plastic, green plastic, and then see-through clear plastic, whatever, right? And then it all
Hmm.
gets dispersed into these pellets, and then they can take the pellets and then yeah, basically just like weld them into whatever shape. So the
Remelt, yeah.
plastic bottle or the whatever, the Perrier bottle, or depending on which ones say that they're recycled materials. But I just thought that was so weird. It's like they turn into little pellets. It's like you could put that in a BB gun and shoot somebody. Like they're pellets. What the hell? It's like that's how they recycle plastic.
It's
It makes
really
sense
cool.
once you hear it, but before that, I just thought they take plastic and crunch it into a big machine and then just take it directly to the factory and then just melt it all down and reform it into the bottles or whatever. I just didn't, it's one of those things
It's
where you're
on.
just completely unknown.
It's on if you can find it online. Maybe it's on how it's made. It's like a show back in the day where they would
It
just show
makes
you
sense that it
like
would be.
the things
Yeah.
are made. That's where I saw it. It's on that.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So there's
And it
previously
shows
no
like the
knowledge.
little pellets, everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Nice.
really really cool. But yeah, I love recycling and I love doing compost, all that jazz. It's the best
Pro
stuff. It's
Earth.
just
Yeah.
so good. That's great. That's
Yeah.
something to look forward to.
Yeah. I'm thinking hopefully our generation, by the time we get to be like the 40-year-olds or the 50-year-olds or whatever, once we become the boomers, hopefully we are the end of that idea of like who gives a shit about the environment, right? Because it's like yeah, it's like we can care about the environment, but there's so many peers that I know that do not give a shit, right? Like I'm the one cleaning the house, the
Great.
kids' house,
Yeah.
like at the show that I'm at. and it's everyone's in their 20s like me, but they're just like leaving garbage out everywhere. And you look in the garbage bag because it's like we got a recycling bin and a garbage bin, and you look in the garbage bin and it's just full of water bottles and like just paper and
Oh
shit.
my
Like they just throw it out in the
god.
garbage, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, did no one raise you? Like, this is insane. And it's, and it's
That's
people who
so
seem
weird.
completely decent, but then they just do that, and I'm just like, what? I don't know. It's just this weird disconnect where I'm like, oh, let
It's
me guess, you're single? And it's just all these guys are like, yeah. And it's like, well, no fucking wonder. Like, oh my God, you're a beast. You're a monster. What the fuck? You got to help the environment a little, guys. Come on. Or just some basic sense when it comes to that kind of stuff. Uh,
yeah. Oh yikes.
it's
That's
no fun.
rough.
And
Yeah. That's not
yeah,
fun.
I'm trying to stay away from everybody, and they'll just like come right up to you and stuff, and they don't really give a fuck about COVID. And that's really annoying. Because like I have like a full on face shield now and everything. I don't know if I mentioned that last time, but like I'm staying the fuck away from everybody, right? Like I'm trying to keep my distance, and they don't give a fuck. Like they're, if you're
Yeah.
like in a corner, all of a sudden like a couple guys, like if they're just waiting before they do something, will just come and cuddle, like huddle around, and you're like, I came to
Stay
get away
away.
from you guys, like Jesus Christ. And actually it got so bad that I literally had to tell my higher up. I was like, I can't be in this house anymore. So is it okay if I just go on runs, and then if I'm not going on runs, just like do yard work or something like around the outside of the house? And they're like, yeah, yeah, that's totally fine. And clearly it's not totally fine, but they can't fire me because I'm trying to be safe, right? So even though it's kind of a handicap, where now I'm like working on the outside of the house instead of actually helping inside. And every so often they're like, "Can you help inside?" And like I'll just, I'll say like, "Depends how many people are in the area where you need me to be." But yeah, I'm just trying to stay as safe as possible, and I'm the only one. I'm like the crazy one in the house for wearing a face shield on top of a mask, and to
Why
just try
don't
to
these
be
people? I
staying
don't
away
get
from
how
everything.
these people just don't care. I just don't get it. How people just don't care. They just
It
don't
it just
care.
shocks me how it's people our age too. It's not just like boomers or like the older generation. It's literally fellow peers that don't give a fuck. It's like, did you not get a basic education? Like, do you not understand how science works or how viruses work? Like, it's just, yeah, there's people are just run by their emotions. And so if they're like tired from being inside, they'll just stop giving a fuck. And yeah, I don't know. It's just sad. It's sad how
Yeah. No. Yeah.
people will
Yeah.
stop caring about
It's a
something so
lockdown.
serious.
Does the lockdown really does play a big toll on it?
Yeah,
So
on
I think
people's
people are
emotions,
just over it.
psychology.
People are
Yeah.
just freaking over it, and I'm quite frankly been over it. I've been over it.
Yeah.
That you already know. I can't
You've been
even.
over it as soon as the lockdown started. I mean, you were
Yeah.
talking about it months before then because like you were keeping an
Yeah.
eye on it. So yeah, by the time it
I can't
happened, you're
stand
like,
it.
I fucking yeah,
I can't stand it. I literally can't stand it. It's just it's and then again, China's back to normal. New Zealand's back to normal. They're partying. They're chilling
yep, yep.
because
And
they're
it's that
about to
way
be.
it is
They're
around the
really
world.
about. But again, it's like this whole situation with Trump really like screwed everything up. So it was like
Yeah.
once like that's really I think that has a lot to do with it. And
Well, yeah, because isn't the number of deaths so far like I don't know if it's 1.5 million or if it's around 2 million now, but
yeah.
500,000 of those is just America.
Hmm.
And so it's like the rest of the 100 plus countries deaths combined versus America's. It's like it's
It's
alarming
really
the
sad,
fact that
right?
yeah, so many people are
Really
dying and
sad.
there's still so many people who don't believe that it's real or that it's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's okay. That's
sucks.
the part I don't get either because I was like on someone's Instagram or something, and then somebody was like reposting somebody being posting themselves being like talking about something like I don't even know. It was just such nonsense. Like I really wasn't even like sometimes like when someone's talking such BS, it's like you can't even like register it. It's like
Yeah, you tune it out. You're
it's not
like
even like
you're yeah. It's like this guy's obviously faking, right? Like why the hell is he saying all this
yeah, like
insane
he's saying
shit? Yeah,
words and I'm not even like registering one word. Like the
yeah.
caption on like the video was um like staying away from this like world scam or something
Right,
like
right.
that.
Yeah,
And I'm
someone
just
like
like
that.
I couldn't even just like play it. It's just so like I'm just like
Yeah, yeah. Well, so yeah, the one thing that I've come to notice is
world
that
scam.
there's two types of people. There's the people who genuinely believe that COVID is not real or that it's only as dangerous as the flu, right? Like there's the actual true believers. And that makes up, I think, most of the population of people who aren't giving a fuck are the people who just think it's either being overplayed or it's literally not even real. But
Mm.
then you have this subset. You have the this 10% of people who are also the loudest. The outspoken minority is what they call them, right? Like these, whenever you think of like politics, the extreme left and the extreme right only make up like 10% of the population, but they're like the loudest, so it makes it look like the whole world is thinking this way. When it
Mhm.
comes to the anti-maskers, there's like this minority of them that are the outspoken ones that are like making videos and like having all these people follow them and stuff, and they're creating these movements that know that it's real, but have understood that there is a profit to be made off of pretending like it's not real. And so they take all of these narratives that other people have made who actually believe it and then thread it into this insane conspiracy about like anti-masking. And they're just called grifters. So it's like, yeah, like there's tons of people. I mean, I can't give off any names, but just if you've seen enough videos where you can tell that someone's bullshitting, where they're just like not looking at the camera and it just looks like they're like memorizing a script that they already said to themselves, versus
It's
the other
so
people who are
weird.
like, this isn't real. And it's like, okay, that person actually believes what they're saying. And then you see other people who are like, yeah, and it's all just a big cabal conspiracy, and it's it's all part of the liberal agenda. And it's like,
Followers,
okay, that guy's clearly
just a
doing
follower.
he's doing this for like followers and to make money, ad revenue off of YouTube videos or Instagram
I'm
stories or
cool.
whatever.
Like, yeah,
But
I
it's like
definitely
they're
get that vibe.
intentionally helping continue people's insane beliefs that will get them killed for a profit. And so it's the same as like the people who are like scamming everyone as soon as the lockdown happened and like asking for the personal information for security reasons or like for CERB money and stuff. And you had all these scammers that were like scamming all these vulnerable people who had no money. And it's like you're the lowest scum, and so are these grifters who are helping continue the spread of COVID by telling everyone that it's not real and to go out without your masks and do protests in grocery stores and shit. And it's just awful. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, I really don't like.
it's very
It's
sad.
so
It's
like
like
it's
it's
just so
better just to not
sad.
think about it because it's
It's
like
so sad
so
because it's
aggravating.
like I feel like it's so two sided in a way where it's like I 100% like see people are dying. There's a virus. There needs to be an end. But like I just can't believe how like I just can't believe how America and even in Canada just like so much let so much happen, and I just like again it
Yeah, yeah.
just
The
boggles my like I just remember like when the schools were first opening, I just couldn't
right.
believe it. I was just
Because
so
it's insane. It's like this is instantly gonna backfire, and then it did, and you're like, how the fuck did you guys not see this coming?
yeah.
And it's like,
How what I
oh
don't
no,
get
we knew it was probably gonna go this way, but we just had to do it just to make sure. It's like, what the? So are you like actively trying to spread the virus? Why the fuck did you open the schools? Like this is insane.
that's what I don't get. But it's
It's
like
just a complete failure in
my
politics.
examples completely well back then were New Zealand and China. They were almost back to normal. Now they
Yeah.
are specifically back to running normal. And I'm just thinking, but why didn't we do what they were doing? And essentially, people like when you do research, it's just we Americans, Canadians, Australians, Chinese. All these people are different types of people. Like in China, if you were to leave your house, you're getting thrown in a fucking van, and like that's it, you're done.
Yeah, it's the different
You know
forms of government.
what I
So
mean? Like I'm just like,
communism versus
okay.
capitalism. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's like
yeah,
that's what. And then here in Montreal, like an example, in Montreal, we have a curfew,
yeah,
and people are in the streets furious. Da, da, da. It's like all you people need is fine instantly. Every single one of you need a fine. Bye. Get the
yeah,
hell out of here. Just
yeah.
locked up, thrown in jail. Get them all off the streets. Don't care. That's what would have been day. That should have been day one.
Right. Yeah.
Why was when I remember going out in quarantine like the first week, there was like no one on the streets, nothing. Like everyone was in quarantine.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like the government just like not knowing what they're doing, and they just fool around with people's lives, and people's now are out of jobs and things like this. So
And dead. Yes.
they have every reason to come up with all these stupid conspiracies and all these things. They have literally people telling you straight in your face like don't eat at Thanksgiving, and then they're going and eating at Thanksgiving with people, and they're going on vacation, and like they're
Yeah.
traveling. It's like,
The politicians that said that are going on vacation.
come on, you guys can't be doing this. And then you have us for like you and I, like where it's like we're pro mass, being safe, quarantine. It's like you just gotta. I at this point, I had said it way back. It's all man for all man, and now I'm saying
You just can't trust in the system at this point.
at
Yeah.
this point, everybody they've failed us, And
Yeah,
at
also
this point, the
less.
only
Yeah.
cure is going to be the vaccine. It's when the vaccine comes. If not,
Right.
we'll basically be in lockdown until then, because it won't.
Mm.
Numbers will just
But
keep going
yeah,
higher and lower, higher and lower. It's not going to ever
yeah.
end. So there, everybody gets a vaccine, basically.
Well, so it's not going to end until everyone gets a vaccine, or until you see things like right behind you, where you look at doors that say "Don't Dead" open inside, and you realize that the
Yeah.
mutations of the COVID-19 turning into COVID-20, turning into COVID-21. It's like
Oh,
it turns people into ravenous beasts that come running at you, and
why? The trailer. Why? Why?
Oh my God, yeah, I don't know.
Agent says they changed the name of that. He says they just changed the movie to COVID 21. There's a movie called COVID 21. They just changed the name so they would
Yeah,
get more ad revenue and shit. I'm like, God,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
all
I think
garbage.
Michael Bay was behind that too. I think he was like a producer.
It's all
So
garbage.
makes sense. Yeah, it's trash. Straight up
It's
American.
trash. It's just trash. Like it's just like I
Will I
just can't.
watch it? Who knows? Yeah, will I watch it? Will I hate watch it? We'll see.
I like Contagion, whatever, but I saw that
That
prior
was
way
actually a
back.
good movie. Yeah.
That was I saw the way back, and then like that was great. That was a good movie, but like I just yeah, I'm over it, and I'm happy that you know what, I'm safe. I got some money in my bank account. I don't have to be stressing out, and that's it.
I mean, hey,
Everybody's
I don't even have COVID-19 in the year 2001, so I'm good. All we got is like COVID-12 or something, and that barely touches you. So, yeah, we're doing okay over here. Yeah.
yeah. So that's I guess where we'll. Do you I want to end it on like. Do you have any like shows or anything that you're like watching or at the time? Because
Oh,
maybe the viewers might
well, let me try
pick
and
up
think.
anything new, or I know
Just
like
recently, my girlfriend and I just recently finished The Umbrella Academy, filmed here in Toronto, so local rep there. But yeah, aside from that, I'm trying to think of new stuff. I guess WandaVision on Disney Plus.
have you been watching that?
Yeah, yeah, just the first two episodes. I think four out right now. They're doing something where they're like dropping it weekly, and
Yeah.
it's as good as you'd imagine, right? It's like your kind of standard Marvel spin. I guess there's less action, so it is.
Yeah,
It's interesting in
it's
that
gonna get
regard,
a
and
bit
there's
better.
mystery behind it.
Only on two episodes. There's four, yeah. So it'll get a bit better. I thought the first two episodes were a little boring, but it
It's
gets
all black and white.
you
Yeah,
gotta it gets a bit better. It's a little different, but it gets better.
yeah.
So that's exciting.
Oh, one thing I was thinking of is they're paying homages to decades in television, right? They start in like the 50s, and then episode two is the 60s, and then all of a sudden there's color, and now episode three is going to be the 70s, and then the 80s, and then the 90s, and then the 2000s, and then 2010s, and 2020s, and then they're going to make a season two, and then all of a sudden they're going to turn into The Simpsons, where they start like predicting the year 2030 and then 2040, and we're just like, everyone's watching at home like, what the fuck? And it's all of these tropes that we've never even seen before, and then all of a sudden 10 years later it all starts to come true and we're like, oh, WandaVision, it predicted the
they
future.
had the whole vision.
They literally have the vision. Yeah, oh my God.
Oh
But
my
we'll just have to
gosh.
wait and see. We'll see if there's a season two, and if they cover future television decades. Yeah, that's the way to be. But yeah,
Yeah.
hey, thanks for chatting. Obviously, we had been gone for 2 weeks and we have not addressed that, so we might as well now. A lot of crazy stuff was happening. Darren was literally dying from pain. I was stuck in the year 2001, so I couldn't get a really good reception to the future. It took a while. I'm still trying to find my way back to you. It'll happen eventually. I don't think we'll have to wait 20 years. Hopefully, I can find a portal. I just don't know where. I think I might have to break into NASA. Is that going to be next episode? Who knows?
Oh,
But I got to find a way back to the
you
future.
were in space though one time. I could have sworn you were in space one time.
I was in space. I was in space, so I'll
You
get
were
back to
chilling,
space.
so
God
I'm sure
damn
you
it.
could
Yeah.
do it again.
I don't have the
Right?
credentials, but I got the know-how. I got the future knowledge. So,
Hey,
yeah. Give them some insider info, and then maybe they'll let me in. Who knows? But
yeah, man.
hey, that'll be for next week, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So
And
thanks so
next
much,
week
guys.
you'll be post-surgery, so that'll be exciting to find out too.
Yeah, Tuesdays. Yeah, the last day. I can't wait. Oh my god, I'm terrified, but it'll be all right. I know it shouldn't be too
It will
bad.
be all right. Fun fact: the human mouth, because of the tongue and saliva and everything, heals like 10 times faster than any other part of your body.
Okay.
Its healing speed is insane. So you'll obviously have scars from the surgery, but they will heal in like 3 days. Where if you were to like cut a section of your arm or leg or something, it would take like 3 months. Like the
Wow.
healing rate of the mouth is insane. Yeah, so
Wow.
you really don't have much to worry about. Like by the time Sunday rolls around, you might even have your stitches out. So See what happens.
Wow. Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited. I
Yeah,
can't
we'll
wait.
see. We can talk about how both our processes went because I didn't really go into what happened to me after the fact. But yeah, that'll be for next week. So
Sounds good. Yeah, man. So again, thanks guys for listening. We appreciate it. Sorry, I'm a little like, a little low down today because yeah, it's hard for the mouth and all this damn medication. Like, but
yeah,
thank you so much for watching. Please give us a comment, a like, thumbs up, whatever you guys already know the whole deal. You know
share
how
it.
it is.
Yeah, yeah. Give us reviews on Apple Podcast. Yeah, all that fun stuff.
But thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Just want to say thank you, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
So until then, see ya.